All right, let's get into blow bending today. It is the 28th of January. I am pumped up to talk about this topic, blow bending, with you. Maybe give you some tips that will help you out today. So grab a G harmonica and let's dive right into this topic. Before I talk about the technique, I'll just mention that one thing to consider is when you should really focus on this topic of blow bending. At what point is the average person ready to really hunker down and try to get these blow bends to come out? And my answer would be, well, anytime really. Like, I experimented with blow bending early on. However, it wasn't until I strengthened my draw bends to a certain point that the blow bends then cooperated. I think it's important to have more focus on the draw bends, and then when you're really getting somewhere and you notice that you can get all of the bends to come out, then absolutely don't hesitate to get into blow bending. It's no different than draw bending in the sense that it flats a note. So on this G harmonica, they sound like this. And it's a really expressive sound on the instrument, but it can be overkill, and it can drive people nuts to hear too much blow bending. So I would caution you a little bit to rein it in and use it, sparingly at first, perhaps. I find that the best application, and most would agree, is first position, where we have the complete blues scale lined out for us. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's dive right into some of this technique now. So with your G harmonica, the reason I chose a G is it's really the easiest key to blow bend on, because it's a little more forgiving, this lower key harmonica, by the time you get up to the high notes. So what notes can we bend up there? Well, you can bend 10, 9, and 8 in terms of half step bends that are available, the 10 having the range of an entire whole step bend. And then the 7 blow bends got a microtonal bend. And we can talk about that as well. The technique itself involves more of a front of the mouth tongue position. I often describe it as similar to like spitting a watermelon seed. When you got that watermelon seed like that, right before the seed exits the mouth. That position, you can put your tongue forward instead of bringing it back now, like draw bending. Now you push it forward, and you'll find that you have all the control you're looking for by focusing at the front of the mouth. So one big tip is to get some pressure going on. Listen to what I'm about to say here. Some pressure going on the inside of your teeth, of the top teeth in the front of the mouth. You should notice that the tongue fills out on the edges there and is pushing forward. Like nine is the best note to go for first. And I'm really saying like ah. It's like ah ooh, but you don't get to say ooh. And one good test is to put your hand right here, and when you're trying to execute what would be the bend, you should feel 95% of the air cut and not come out of your mouth. Try that. If you're able to blow bend, you should be able to test that right now. When you execute the tongue position, the air stops. Just like a draw bend, you're redirecting airflow. So that's what's going on with blow bending, and it takes just fiddling with it. So if you're like, this isn't helping, I can't get it, it takes time to get used to it, just like you had to work on draw bending. So again, I want to just mention this 10. If you dig this kind of stuff, be sure to give the video a like. Thanks for subscribing and joining this channel too. I appreciate you being here. Good morning. Hey, what's up, Ted, Steve, and Ramblin' Harp? Thanks for being members and tuning in this morning. For some reason, I find the A harp easier to blow bend. Then you probably spend more, I'm guessing, maybe not, but maybe you spend more time on the A harp than you've spent on the G. A G and an A are totally valid. They're great keys to begin with for blow bending. I personally would prefer not to hear a whole bunch of blow bending any higher than like a B harmonica. So by the time we get to C and higher, those blow bends can be quite shrill. Occasionally they're nice to hear, like a little, here's a C harp. If you're real gentle. And you can bring it into second position, but it's really shining in first. So maybe we should take a look at the blues scale. Think about the blues scale in second position on a C first to relate it to your knowledge that you might already have. Pick up your G harp and find the first note. 7 blow. And we're having to play some challenging notes. So let me show you on the whiteboard what I mean. This is the blues scale. Hopefully I've written that out correctly. I tend to go fast sometimes, but starts nice and easy on a 7 blow, G harp, 8 blow bend, 9 draw, 9 half step blow bend, 9 blow, 10 full step, and 10 blow. It's a work in progress until you get it. Like these blow bends, I understand that for a lot of people saying, well, how can I work on the scale until I get the bend? It kind of goes back and forth. You're working towards the blow bends as you try to get them in context of a scale. That's one way to think about it. You're just trying to get them to come out and hear the note you're going for. So if you go back to your C harp when you're practicing this, go back and forth 7 blow to 8 blow bend half step between the 2 draw and the 3 half step and cross, you're practicing that 8 blow bend. So write those notes down. Come back to this video and write the notes down, and you can use the blues scale as a guide for practice to get started. But really the most fun I've ever had with working on blow bending, I'm about to give you some killer exercises, so stay tuned here. One of them is just transcribing licks from one to the other. Take your second position, C harmonica. I've talked about this in other clips. And find these traditional blues licks that are centered in second position on a C, and then go up and find them in G on the high end of the harp. Or even... So all these great riffs are right up there because we have this complete blues scale on the high end of first position. We don't have that complete blues scale without overblowing the bottom and middle register. So that's why you hear Jimmy Reed in these classic like first position high end, a lot of high end notes going on. So here's some great, the final thing we're going to cover today in this live stream are some exercises. And the reason I'm thinking of this topic is because I was hanging out with Nick and we were talking about it, and I played this exercise and he's like, whoa, wait a minute, what's that? And I was breaking down this little exercise that I used to play all the time. I'm going to play it for you. It's kind of fast, but I'm going to slow it down for you, okay? Wait, let me answer this question. Do you increase pressure to get the blow bend? Only on especially on 10. I don't really need much extra air pressure or flow for the blow bends, but I will say that you're onto something with that 10 blow bend needing a little more extra push. But it's very subtle. It's a gentle push like this. Listen to that. It's gentle. I'm not using my lungs. It's a diaphragmatic just push. So when you want to get the 10, if you're struggling to get the 10 blow bend, think of it as like practice instead of just one stream of air going. That's more challenging than trying to just get it to come out and go, get the tongue in the right position, give it a little pop of air. So here's the exercise I used to play. Back away from the mic a little bit here. It goes like, there's 2 of them that come to mind. The first one is, I'll play it and then I'll slow it down. I used to do this all the time. Really fast, I get that. That's why I'm going to slow it down. We can also bring it up to the 10 that was you're hearing 9 interacting with blow bends and going down to 8, and then 8 moving down to 7. And you can do it on 10. So what am I doing? It sounds ridiculous, right? I mean, I don't play like that, but why would I do it? Because I'm working on speed, agility, strength building when it comes to the actual technique. And here's what's going on. We can just use holes 9 and 8 and 8 and 7 to accomplish this, and then you can work your way to the version on 10. The pattern is the same. I start on a blow bend on 9, and I release it to the blow. Then I go back to the bend. So that sounds like this. So it'll be practice to start on that. There's a more advanced practice, obviously, especially at that speed. But you would start on the blow bend on 9, lift it to 9, then back to the blow bend. Then the resolve is 8 blow. That's it. And then do the same thing on 8. Down to 7 blow. So 8 blow bend, 8 blow bend, and 7 blow. That's what I was doing. I'll play a slow version for you. The jaw gets involved. The faster you go, the more jaw work you'll want to engage with to really get speed and articulation. But slowly, the other one I really like is this one. So I'm going to just break that down real quick and call that out. 9 blow bend, 9 blow to 10 blow. Then 9 blow bend to 8 blow. No draw notes needed. Same pattern starting on 8. 8 blow bend, 8 blow to 9 blow. You can come back and write this out. And then 8 blow bend, 7 blow. These kind of series of triplets. The 7 blow does not contain a half step bend, but it's got a microtonal bend just like 5 draw. So it's great for a vibrato. Mitch Kashmar is the best at that kind of jaw vibrato. At least that's how I'm getting it. Just kind of doing that on the 7. So these are really fun to practice. First position, meaning the key of the harmonica, is the key of the song. So if they're in G, you grab a G harp. If they're in A, you grab an A harp. And I honestly would stick to the A and the G at first to get used to these. And find simple phrases that always reference knowledge that you already have. Don't start fresh again. Think about what you know from second position and bring that knowledge up to the high end in the first position. I've got a class called Blow, Bending, and Overblows that I did not too long back, and that's on sale. I'll put that in the chat and maybe update the video description later on. So if you're not a member on Harmonica 123 and don't have access to it, you can just purchase it. You don't have to be a member. You can buy classes on harmonica123.com. So I put that in the chat. I'll pin it. And that's blow bending in a nutshell. That's it. That's all you need to know. And I appreciate you guys giving the video a like, hanging out with me today live for those that are here. You know, Pete says start on a low F. I don't agree with that, but it may work for you, Pete, but I think that it's easier on a G. Even though it would make sense logically that why not go lower? Wouldn't that be easier? I don't think so personally. I think the G is the easiest harmonica to blow bend on. That's just my opinion. But sure, if you have a low F, experiment with the low F. I agree with that. I think G is the easiest, then A, I think even a low F requires a little bit of closer examination. Here's a low F. It's not bad. You're right. It's a pretty good one to use, though. There's a little more very slight adjustment in the breath to the low F to the G, but not much. So yeah, maybe it would be a decent one to bring in the mix if you got it. And work them. Don't wait. The only time you wait on working blow bends is if your draw bends are just suffering. Then get those draw bends in shape first. Check out the class. If you're not a member, you can purchase it. I've put it out there, and I'll also update the video description. In fact, I'll do that right now. I think I can do it right now. And I appreciate all of you. Thanks for being here to check out this clip today. And that's really what I got. That's all that's going on here. So I'm going to leave you with a little sample. Maybe I didn't plan on doing this, but we know what it sounds like, I think, but just for kicks, right? Bring the track over here. So if you're on a G harmonica, you would want to have like a track in G. So I'm pulling up a slow blues in G. Let's just see what this sounds like. That's okay. Let's see what this sounds like. It's just a shuffle. All right, let's just... Is that coming through okay? Little sampling. Context-wise, outside of a shuffle, a slow blues is killer for first position. And I want to just mention, even though this is about blow bending, don't deny the bottom end of first. It is such a sweet place to work on blues. The first position low end is some of my favorite stuff. So we get to engage in all the bends down there. That's why it's so bluesy in first position. Just to share that, don't deny that bottom end. I do think the high end's more relevant for somebody getting started in first, maybe especially if the blow bends are coming out, but then get back to that low end and see what you can do. All right, that's it today. That's what I got. Thanks for tuning in and being here live if you are. And I will see you soon. I've got some cool stuff coming up real quickly. I will mention coming up in February. I have a good friend of mine and one of the most incredible harmonica players that I know living on planet Earth from Brazil, Rodrigo Abarianos, is joining the Harmonica 123 Guest Artist Series class on February 9th. That's a Sunday. He'll be talking about how to work on breaking down blues harmonica solos and or instrumentals. What is his process? What are the tools that he uses? It's going to be a really cool class. If you don't know Rodrigo, he is a beast of a harmonica player. He literally might be one of the most accomplished diatonic and chromatic players. He's up there at the very top. So go look up Rodrigo Eberianos and Eberienos and start listening to what he's doing. Um, it's going to be a great class. So best way to catch it is to be a member at Harmonica 123, where all of my classes are included. You just get them. You don't have to sign up for anything. And that's it today. Thanks again for being here live. I'll see you guys down the road. Make it a great rest of your day.